Hey you, I don't know you, and you don't know me. But once I was 25 years old, like you are now. And it's a strange age to be, because you're an adult, and you've been so for a long time. And still, it can feel like you are not quite an adult yet. Maybe you feel like others treat you like you are younger than you are. Maybe you feel like no one takes you serious. Maybe you don't feel quite responsible enough to be an adult. Maybe you feel tired of being young, but at the same time scared to grow up. At least that's how I felt when I was 25 years old. I remember feeling like adulthood was kind of a club, that officially I was part of it, but unofficially it seemed like I was still not quite a member of it. You know, everyone knew I was an adult, including myself, but it kind of felt like I wasn't quite there yet. It was like no matter how hard I tried to be an adult, how hard I tried to fit in, I didn't really fit in. And going out and being young, it had started to feel empty. It didn't feel fun anymore. But being grown up felt boring and uncertain. And actually sometimes being grown up also felt quite stupid. And I think that's because a lot of the things that adults do, they just don't quite make sense. So I knew that there was this switch in my life, but it was like the switch hadn't quite happened yet. It was a bit like this landscape, actually. The magic of the snow had started to melt away, but I was uncertain about what was underneath. So yeah, 25 years, it was like being in this place in between. And you know, that's actually a pretty great viewpoint, because you get to observe the ones who are younger than you, and you get to reflect on that. At the same time, you can observe the adults, and you can reflect on what you would like to change. To be honest, if I had to get an advice from someone, I think I would pick a 25-year-old like you. Because I think you're pretty smart. You have the ability to observe and reflect. You're actually in a great position for that. And I do know that it probably doesn't always seem like that. Maybe life seems a bit blah. But I want you to know that you are important. Your opinion is important. And you matter. And this phase of life you're in, it will pass too. And maybe in the meantime, you are able to enjoy this position you're in. Even though I know that sometimes it can feel like you're invisible and maybe a bit lost in life. But I do hope that one day you will look back at this part of life and realize that this was the time where you decided what you wanted to leave behind and what future you want to create. And it doesn't have to be concrete. It doesn't have to be measurable. You just have to know that things will change. So, to someone who is 25 years old, you're doing better than you think. You are smarter than you believe. And you are important. I'm wishing you all the best.